Hi everyone, my name is Phil and welcome to Phil Does 3D. I'm a multimedia and 3D artist and I stream live on Twitch on Mondays and Tuesdays at 5 PM Pacific time in the US, 11 AM in Australia now that we've started daylight savings here, or 1 AM if you're in the UK. Remember though, if you miss the live streams, you can always catch up with the premiere event streams on a Friday and Saturday at 2 PM Pacific time in the United States, which is 8 AM in Australia or 10 PM if you are in the UK. I hope all you guys and girls are well. We're going to continue working on our Art Deco building cinematic we're making using the Unreal Engine 4. We're setting up the final cameras now. We've only got a few more for the inside of the building and then a few for the outside back of the building. And then we can jump into Premiere Pro to put this cinematic together. Do remember though, if you have any questions or anything you're not sure about, please feel free to pop into chat and ask me. If you just want to pop into chat and say hello, that's always welcome. But if all you want to do is watch, that's completely fine. Okay, just give me a sec here, guys. I'm just checking on something over here. Yes, so let's jump straight into Unreal, shall we? So yesterday we were setting up this camera here, which just is a camera that pans up over the top of the couch to see the mezzanine, which is up above that wrought iron vestibule section down here. So that's where we finished yesterday. We'll pick up where we left off there. Good evening, Sniper Echo. It's good to see you, buddy. I hope you're well and everything's going good for you and for all you guys and girls watching. Yes, so we're nearly done with the cameras. Almost. Smurfberg Barbecue, good to see you as well. How are you? Good to see you guys. We're almost done with the cinematic, guys. Can you believe it? Almost done. It's been such a long haul. It's been fun, but it's been a long project. And just for those people curious about what we're working on next, we're going to be, again, like I said yesterday, doing some photogrammetry, doing some texturing in Mari, doing some modeling in Max, and doing some beauty renders in Eon View. That's the plan. But next week, hopefully, I think today we'll probably get the interior cameras finished, so all the interior stuff will be done. So on Monday next week, we can review the cameras from this week and set up the final cameras for the back of the building. I only need like 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 cameras for outside at the back. So, yep, we should be done, probably not today, but on Monday next week we should finish the camera work. So Tuesday next week we should start doing the Premiere Pro work, to putting the final cinematic together. Like I said, that's the plan anyway. Best laid plans, as they say. Again, my apologies for being a little bit distracted. I'm just looking at some stuff that work sent through. Naughty me. And I'm also just checking Discord. Okay, that's all good. It's all good. We are good. Good to go. So let's create a new camera. We're up to camera shot 66. Let's duplicate the empty shot and call it shot 66. Let's open that up. Okay, so we need to create a new shot, and I want a shot where the camera sort of pans down this hallway section past this little vestibule. So that's sort of the way I want the camera to go, and I think I might start the camera around about here with this beautiful peacock bowl, because you guys know how much I love this peacock bowl. And I think we'll use a rail, camera rig rail. So let us jump into our cinematic subfolder, get into a position where I can see what I'm doing, and pull in the rail. Let's rotate it around. Okay. Again, my apologies for my nasally sounding voice. It's this head cold that I've got. It is getting better, so hopefully by next week I should be back to normal. Not sounding like I'm talking through my nose. Alrighty, let's extend this route out. So I'm going to select the endpoint, hold down the Alt key and drag. And again, hold down the Alt key and drag. And let's keep doing it. Hold the Alt key down and drag. You can never have too many points along a spline. You can. And hold down the Alt key one more time and drag again. I think we'll finish the rail down around about here, so we can get a good overview of the vestibule. Okay. Let us add a cinematic camera. So this is camera rig rail 15, must remember that. I'm just curious as to, it's named at 15, but we had 16, that's strange. Anyway, it should have gone to 17, but anyway, whatever. Let's pull in a cinematic camera. Let's move it up. Let's rotate it around so it's following our rail. So are you guys excited that I'm finally almost done with this project? Or do you want me to make a kitchen and bathroom for you? Just make sure our camera is sort of over our rail. Doesn't really matter, but just keeps things nice and organized. I'll take that as no, we don't want you to keep working on this project, Smurfberry. We want you to move on to something else. Okay. And this is cinematic camera 55, and it's got to be attached to the rail actor 15, if I can find it. Where is that? There it is. Okay, so let's drag our camera and attach it to our rail. Let's select both of those and add to track, add to sequencer, and add currently selected actors to sequencer. And Sniper says kitchen alright. You guys don't want no kitchen and bathroom. They're luxuries. Luxuries in life, a kitchen and a bathroom. Let's turn the camera on so we can see it in our viewport here on the left. Okay. Now I think I want to start this camera a bit further back, which is why I made my rail so long. Because we want to see this beautiful, beautiful peacock bowl in shot. The beautiful peacock bowl. Let's move it up though, the rail and the camera up. I'm going to move it over a little bit. Maybe just a bit off center like that. Remember, I try and avoid centering anything up. It looks too unnatural. Do you remember when we were creating the interior of the building, we were putting books and bits and pieces on tables and things? I always said to you guys, don't center everything up. It just looks weird. It doesn't look real. It doesn't look right. Usually. So there are exceptions, but and it's the same sort of thing with these camera shots. I don't want to center anything up too much. More interesting composition if it's just a bit off center. Okay, let's move it back in a bit because I want a bit of a closer view of that peacock. Let's change our depth of field too so we can see the peacock, I think. Actually, no, we'll do that at the end. We'll bring the peacock into focus at the end. Let me just maybe move it over a little bit. Again, I'm avoiding going in the middle of the shot, but just off center. And maybe I might move it a bit closer. Move it up just a little bit so we don't lose the top of the peacock head. Okay. Let's start making some adjustments to the rail. So I want to start the camera moving through with the peacock. I want to move the camera past the peacock, but as it passes the peacock, I want it to turn toward this section of the building. And I also want to drop the rail down. So I'm going to select my points from here down along my rail. Again, I'm just holding the control key to multi-select these points. And I'm going to get into a position where I can see what I'm doing. I'm just going to drop the rail down. Because I want more of a dramatic shot where the camera looks up a bit as opposed to looking straight on. I might move that rail down a bit more. Not that much. We don't want it to go through the floor. Should be good. Android Lust, it's good to see you. How are you? My apologies, Android Lust, about missing last week's stream. I saw your message in Discord saying you were going to be early for us. It couldn't be helped, I'm afraid. The studio sent me away and gave me a head cold. So thank you very much, guys and girls at the studio. But I hope you're well. Alrighty, now we've got a bit of a kink happening here with our rail. No problem, good to hear. You forgive me, do you? Again, my apologies, guys and girls, about last week. The studio sent me Outback Perth, which you guys know how much I love. And coming from 50 degrees Celsius there to 16 degrees Celsius back home has given me a head cold. Legmog, it's good to see you, buddy. Legmog says, I hope you fixed the unforgivable problem with the timer, where yesterday it clearly counted down to 0 until a few seconds went by before the start. I did. I was right on time. You ask Smurfberry and Sniper Echo. The minute the counter hit 0, I was live. There was no 5-second delay. That inexcusable 5-second delay did not happen. But I hope you're well, Legmog. I hope it's all going well. When do you start the new job at the studio? Well, the second job at the same studio. I just want to make sure my rail has got no kinks in it. Because we don't want the kinks. Smurfberry says, I didn't see it. I was delayed by a few seconds. Oh, I see how it is, guys. I see how it is. You didn't see it, so you don't believe me. Is that what's going on? Legmog says, that'll be next Monday. Oh, okay, cool. Cool. Yeah. We were talking about with Legmog yesterday about studios expecting staff to work late, past the hours they're paid for. We won't go into all that again today, but just be wary of that sort of thing, guys, that's all. Like I said, I'm just selecting these points and rotating them so I don't get any kinks in my camera, so my rail is nice and smooth. I might just move you down a little bit. There we go. Just want to get rid of that bit of a kink that was happening there. Android Lust says, yeah, me non-paid work. Yes, Legmog was talking about the studio because he's working on a contract basis for the studio. He's not employed full-time by them. And the studio apparently expects their staff to work back till like 10 o'clock at night. Now, like I was saying yesterday, that's not unusual if you've got a deadline or a milestone coming up to work extra hours. I mean, everybody does it. But if you're a contractor, it's a little bit different because you're supposed to be paid by the hour. So a studio expecting a contractor to work back late, unless it's in the contract, stipulated in the contract, you've got to be careful of doing that sort of thing because you're giving your work away for nothing if you're doing that. Sniper says, Phil, so you know how I kind of suggested you do this project in UE4? I do remember, Sniper Echo. I remember you saying something about, hey, maybe it would be good for you to redo the project you did in UDK in UE4. You know, nice, quick little project that we can stream that will be fun for everyone to watch. Little did we know how long it would take. Yeah, that was back in 2016. Oh, wow. Well, listen, guys, it's going to be done. We're in the final stretch now. Like I said, the cameras for the interior, we will probably finish today. And then we've only got a few cameras for the back of the building at the exterior shots. So the plan is to jump into Premiere on Tuesday next week, on Tuesday's stream, to start putting the cinematic together. But like I said, the best laid plans of mice and men. You have an idea for another one? Oh God, what is it? What is your idea for another stream, Sniper Echo? I'm all ears. Another one that's going to take me 12 months? Legmog says, yeah, didn't you originally make this whole thing in an earlier version of the Unreal Engine and you wanted to update it with a then newer engine? Yes, that's exactly right. I had to completely remake it, but I did originally make this building, no environment, just the building, in UDK, which was the engine before Unreal 4, so UE3. Yeah, you are correct. And it is on my YouTube page for anyone curious if they want to see it. Back in, I think it was 2007 I did that. And the plan was to remake it in the new Unreal Engine to see the improvements that Epic had made to the lighting. That was the original plan. But when I started creating the project again, the assets that I'd made back then were really crap. I mean, like I said to you guys, not everything I make is gold all the time. And the assets I'd made were really rubbish. They were textured really badly. So basically we had to retexture them all anyway. And then I decided I was only going to partly furnish the building, and I decided to fully furnish the building. Things came up like adding skylights that I never intended to put into the building that I just couldn't help myself. And that pushed the project out and out and out. Pardon me. FS Vault, it's good to see you, but how are you? It's been a long time in the making. It certainly has, FS Vault. Like I said, come November next month, it will be 12 months. This project will have taken 12 months. But again, I want you people watching to think, wow, I don't want to do anything Unreal if it's going to take me 12 months to make something. Unreal is not the problem. It's the fact that I can only work on it 4 hours a week. That's the reason it's taken so long. So it won't take you as long if you devote more time to what you're doing than I can. Sniper says Legmog, yeah, and I believe it had all the amenities. Oh, you get a Phil slap. You're so cheeky. Sniper Echo, you are so cheeky. Slap. Cheeky. Legmog says, okay, so the next project can be drumroll, do it all again, but this time do it in the most latest UE4. I am on the, not the latest, I'm on 419.2. The latest is 420.3. But they haven't really, looking at the release notes, Epic haven't changed anything to do with lighting or anything, so not that I'm aware of. They made some changes to meshes and stuff, but I didn't update to it because the last thing I want to do is risk something breaking. So normally when you work for a games company, you're making a game, you get so far through development, then they lock the project down to a certain build generally. And that's to avoid having something break that's going to make you miss a deadline. And that's the attitude I take with this. Now we're at the very end of the project. I'm still at the pretty much the latest version of Unreal, just one down. I've locked it to 4.19.2 to finish it, just in case something breaks and it pushes the project out another couple of months. So I don't want to do that to you guys. Do I have any ideas for what's next, FSVault? Yes. We are going to be doing photogrammetry next, and then we're going to be doing modeling in 3D Studio Max, and then we're going to be doing texturing in Mari by the Foundry, and then we're going to be doing beauty renders in Eon View. That's the next project. So photogrammetry, modeling in Max, texturing in Mari, and beauty renders in View. I've got it all planned out. I've taken the photos so we can do the photogrammetry stuff while I'm live streaming. Because I actually want to talk about photogrammetry a little bit while we do that, so I can show you a comparison between the 3 different pieces of software that I use, which are Context Capture by Bentley, Reality Capture, and Photoscan by Agisoft. I'll be looking at those 3 programs because they're all different. They all cost different amounts. They all do it slightly differently as far as photogrammetry goes, and they all give you slightly different results. Some better, some worse, some faster, some slower. All that sort of stuff. Legmog says, keep redoing the scene for every new Unreal Engine. Sniper says, yeah, 421. Oh, went live today. So maybe a remake. Oh, no. No. I have to draw the line somewhere. We're going to get this project done in 4.19.2 and finished. If I revisit this project at a later date, it may be to optimize it so I can show you, because you could turn this into a game level, but not the way it is at the moment. It needs to be optimized. I've got like 3 textures on every model. That's not great. So if I revisit it, it will be to sort of show you maybe how we could optimize the level for a game. But that's down the track. That'll be next year, not this year. Nightbot spamming my links again. Thank you, Nightbot. Sniper says, I pay attention to detail and I get a slap. You like the slaps. Tell the truth. You guys like it when I slap you. Yeah, so if you're a sub, you guys can hand out Phil slaps as well. There's like 6 different on-screen pop-ups that subs can use live on stream. Everything from Phil slaps to stink eyes to raspberries to wrecked, everything like that. It's all on the web. Go to my website. Under the subsection of my website, you can find the commands there, and it will tell you subs what you can do if you're a sub. Tap Crush, it's good to see you, Tap Crush. How are you? It is good to see you. I hope you've been well. Awesome, FSVault says. So yeah, photogrammetry, Mari, modeling in Max, and beauty renders in View. Well, let's get, like as Sniper Echo says, we're getting back to the basics after this project. Legmog says, photogrammetry, modeling in Max, texturing in Mari, Eon View. This stream schedule will take us all the way to 2045. No. It's not. Doing photogrammetry is relatively quick. Doing some modeling in Max won't take me that long. Depending on how big the model is I make in Max, texturing it in Mari shouldn't be too bad. And then doing the beauty renders in View. It's more interesting for you guys to see me work that way, I think. And they're all different types of projects. Like, you can think of the photogrammetry thing as one sort of different project, and Max is another project, and Mari is another project, even though they're all going to be using the same model. So it won't take 12 months, I promise. I promise. Sniper says, no planning authority would grant permission for this house without some. How should I put this essential features? And now you get the stink eye. That's just for you, Sniper Echo. Tapcross says, doing good. Great to see you too. It's good to see you too. It's good to see all you guys and girls. Are you just here so you don't get fines, Tapcross? I don't understand. What, are you being forced to watch my stream? I don't want anyone to be forced to watch my stream. You should want to watch my stream. Legmog says, Phil, nah, 2045 is too long. It'd be much shorter. We'll be finished at around 2044, much sooner. That's right, that full 12 months sooner. Estimated completion date 2045. You're just you're so cheeky. I want to slap you all. You got it, FSL? Cool. Yes, so no, this project, this is a big project, guys. It took so long because it's turned into quite a large project. It's a full-on environment. It's a full-on building that's fully furnished without a kitchen and a bathroom. And we had to texture up all the furniture and stuff inside of Substance Painter. So it turned into quite a big project. And like I said, think of it this way: it could be a game level, at least anyway. You'd have to extend it a bit to make it into a game, but you could, and without maybe another 6 months' work by adding a few more other areas within the environment for people to explore. So think of it that way. Think of it like it's 3/4 the way to a game, really. Of course, there are no characters or anything in the environment, but yeah. So don't think of it as just like a building. Think of it more like a game. That we're not making a game, we're making a cinematic. And that's the reason it's taking so long. Sniper says, I think this could be an interesting game. Yeah, well, why my mind is not working. I blame the head cold. Wow. Well, one of my viewers, and my apologies to the viewer because I can't remember your username now, I should, but said that he'd buy it if it was a game, which was nice. I appreciated that. Android Lust says, you have deer, those are carrot. Well, that's true actually. I have the eagle at the beginning, the American eagle. I have the deer at the front of the building near the pond, and I have some bunny rabbits out the back that we're going to set up cameras for as well when we jump out the back of the building. So yeah, we do have characters. We've got 3 or 4 different characters in the game, I guess. But if I was to turn this into a game, I would probably make it like an exploration sort of game, a creepy, horror-y type thing where you sort of explore the environment, maybe have a couple of challenges to get through certain areas. Make it creepy, make it like a horror, exploration, walking sort of game. It'd fit the environment well. A horror game, yeah. The sniper, yep, horror game. Hambone, there we go. My apologies, Hambone, I forgot your username. Hambone said that he'd buy it if it was a game. And he was actually the one that suggested a sort of like a walking horror game sort of thing. And it wouldn't require a lot of work. You just have to set up some scripted events to happen while you actually start exploring the environment. It can be done. And because these Steam horror-y sort of games, they're not usually very long. It's not like a AAA game like, say, Tomb Raider or something, or Assassin's Creed Origins. I call it Ask Creed because I don't play them. Where, you know, you're expecting 40 hours worth out of a game. Steam games, independent Steam games, are generally between 6 and 10 hours. You can certainly do that. Sniper says, how about we set it in 20 years in the future? Well, we're in the hollow, remember? Once you go through those main gates, you can't escape. You're stuck in the hollow, which is why it's called the house in the hollow. There's no way to get out unless you can find a way out. And maybe that could be an interesting sort of idea for if you were to make it into a game. You'd have to sort of explore a way to get out. to leave the hollow. Because you're stuck in time and space in the hollow here, you can't leave. Which is why there's no kitchen and bathroom, because you can't buy any food, so you're going to die anyway. And that's what the forest is for as far as the bathroom goes. You call it, Sniper says. Sniper says amenities where we went wrong. Yeah, well, that's part of the horror of the game, isn't it? You don't have a bathroom or a kitchen. It's motivation for you to try and find a way out of the hollow. Alrighty, so I'm going to drop the camera down once we pass the coffee table. And I want it to move along past the wrought iron gate, but I want to pull the rail over a little bit as well, I think. So buttons. No. So I'm going to select these 3 points again. Actually, what I might do is I might select the 2 instead of the 3. Sniper says, actually, I don't usually ask personal questions on stream, but should I be worried? What personal question do you want to ask? I don't generally answer personal questions when I stream. Do you have a forest, Phil? I live in the city, so no. If you're asking if there's a forest where I live, no, there's not. Or a kitchen. Yes, smartass. I do have a kitchen and I do have 3 bathrooms, so there you go. One's a powder room. Downstairs is a powder room. Upstairs there's a main bathroom, and then my room has an ensuite, which is a bathroom as well. So yes, I have a bathroom, and yes, I have a kitchen. 3 bathrooms. Well, 3 bathrooms is not quite correct. I've got 3 toilets, 2 bathrooms. Because you can never have too many toilets. Just like Homer Simpson. I want a toilet in every room. No, because you know my apartment is on 3 levels. Downstairs is the powder room, which is just a toilet. And then on the 2nd level is where my bedroom is, and so there's a main bathroom up there, and there's a bathroom off of my main bedroom as well. A small bathroom, an ensuite. I'm overselling it. Alright, I might just straighten up this rail a little bit. Let's move you over. And I might just move this up a little bit as well. Just so we get a little bit more of a gradual transition down this ramp. Yeah, it's not as glamorous as it sounds. Like I said, the bathroom off of my bedroom is tiny. You couldn't swing a cat in it. Because it's just like typical apartment living, you know, rooms aren't huge. But it means that I have less to clean if I stick to one bathroom. Alright. Okay, we can make some small adjustments to our rail once we start moving our camera. So this is what our camera is currently looking at. We're sort of focused in on the on this beautiful, beautiful peacock urn that I love so much. Yuck, 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 yuck. But it suits the building. I'm not going to change the depth of field here. I'll do it at the end once we've set up our camera. So let's set keyframes for our camera. S on the keyboard is the shortcut. And let's also set a keyframe for the rail at 0. Let's move to the end of the timeline and set our rail to 1. No, that's interesting. Let's set a keyframe for the rail at 1. And let's turn our camera, because I don't want to be facing the window here, I don't think. So when the camera reaches the end of our rail rig, we want it to be rotated. Do I want to be looking back? Might be more interesting, because this is the second camera for, no, this is the third camera for this end of the room. Remember, we're setting up 3 cameras for each room. Anything more and I'll have too much footage. But I think what I want to do is rotate the camera up a little bit. Maybe straighten the camera out. So we're looking back at the doorway to that little vestibule area. Let's set a keyframe, S on the keyboard. And now we can make adjustments for our camera as we move along our rail. Okay, so we start at the peacock, our camera moves past the peacock, and it starts to turn toward that little vestibule. Then it moves down as it keeps moving along the rail, past the pot. I think when we get to here, I might rotate the camera up. And straighten it out. No, wrong way. Let's set a keyframe here. And we keep moving along. And then we finish the camera looking back the way we've come. Okay, so start at the peacock, move our way through to look at the vestibule and that plant. Past the pot, past the gates, and then turn to look back. FS Vault says this video is going to be wild. Hopefully, it should be cool. I've chosen 3 separate songs. They're only about 1.5 minutes each, so we've got a 4.5 minute cinematic. A few sound effects we're going to throw in there, some simple sound effects. We're not going to go nuts. So it should be interesting, hopefully. I've already done the intro opening credits and I've done the closing credits. Those videos are already ready to go. So, yeah, it should be cool. Hopefully it'll be cool. Under the pressure is on now that Epic Games have taken notice of what I'm doing. So it's got to be good. I've got to make sure it's good. That and the fact that the studio too that I work for want to see the cinematic just to decide if the engine, the Unreal Engine, might be good for some clients that we do it that we have at the studio for some of our clients. And so they're going to make their decision based off of my cinematic. So Epic actually awarded me an award as part of the NVIDIA Edge program. So they run that program where if you're creating something cool using Unreal, they'll give you a GTX 1080 Ti. So Epic Games awarded myself and 2 other guys that award in August, I think it was. They told us in September. So and Epic Games have been tweeting about the project that I'm doing here at the moment. So yes, I'm still waiting for the card to arrive, guys, from Epic. I haven't got it yet. But it was incredibly blown away that they chose this project for an award as part of their Edge program. Very grateful. So thank you, Epic Games, and thank you, NVIDIA. So yeah, the pressure is on there to make sure I do a good job and get it done. There and the studio. I've got pressure coming from both sides. That's okay. I'm used to pressure. I'm just going to play this through on a loop so I can get an idea, and then we'll make adjustments to the depth of field. Thank you, Android Lust. It is awesome. Like I said, I'm very grateful to Epic and NVIDIA for choosing this project for their Edge program. It's cool, and I was incredibly surprised when I read it on Twitter. I mean, yeah, I saw the post on Twitter and yeah, I was amazed. I didn't even know that Epic... I mean, I knew that Tim, who is the community manager for Epic, he'd popped into my stream before and so I knew he knew about it. But yeah, it was very cool. Well deserved, Android Lust says. Well, thank you. I'm glad, buddy. I'm glad you think so. Well, like I said, we put a lot of work into it, and it's good to know that Epic Games like what they see. And I've said that how much I like the engine, and I said that well before they gave me this award. I've always told you guys how much I liked using the Unreal Engine, which is why I used it UDK, and I've used the Unreal Engine for quite a long time. Back when it was just Unreal 1, because I used to make deathmatch levels for our games. You remember when Unreal Tournament was a thing, that game? I used to make deathmatch multiplayer levels using Unreal for that. And we're talking 10 years ago. So I've always liked the Unreal Engine. It's for its art tools. They've got great artist tools. Now this is a shot that's about 10 seconds in length. It's travelling quite a distance. But with all of our shots, I do 2 shots. I do a normal camera speed version and a slow motion version. I've done that for all of the shots we've created throughout the entire project so far. I'll do the same for this because I'm just concerned that the camera is moving a bit too quickly. But we can slow it down using the slow motion camera shot of this camera if we need to. Once I actually render it out, it might be okay. Andrew Lost says I used to play with that game at school. Yeah, it's a good game. Unreal Tournament. It explains why I had bad grades. Yeah, well, maybe. Shouldn't be playing games at school when you're supposed to be learning. That's meant for after school, so you can chill and relax. You play your games after school, not during school. Okay, I think the camera movement will probably be okay. My idea for this shot was to get a good shot of that vestibule wrought iron section of the room, and to also take us from one side of the building at the back here to the other, because we're going to be moving to the other side now to finish up our camera shots for the interior. So let's look at the depth of field now. So I want to start the shot with the peacock in focus. So first thing I want to do is make sure I change my camera to an 18mm, not a 20, which is what it defaults to, because I like the letterbox look. Let's change the depth of field for the camera to... Make sure I select the camera actor so I can actually change my depth of field. Let's start it really close. Let's try 200. Still needs to be closer. Let's try 100. Let's try 50. Let's try 70. 70 is about right. That gives us a nice focus on the peacock with the background out of focus. Just wondering if I might try pushing it back a little bit more. No. Let's try 90. I'm going to go with 90, I think. Man, this is wild, Evesbolt says. I might go with 90. 70 brings the peacock into focus more. But I don't want the background to be quite that out of focus. So if I take it to 90, 110, 100. No, I'll leave it at 90. Let's set a keyframe here at 90 so the peacock is in focus. FS World says, sometimes I just get hyped thinking about 3D because you can think of anything in your head, then make it. Yeah. That's what I've been, why I encourage you guys to do 3D, because it is, anything you can imagine, you can make. You can make stuff that never existed, never will exist, places that don't exist. Anything you dream up in your head, you can create in 3D. That's why I really like doing 3D, because even though I work with photorealistic stuff a lot of the time, you can still take that photorealistic thing and put it in a completely made up environment. That's the kick I get out of doing 3D. It's making worlds and places that have never existed. That's what I really love about 3D. And as far as animation goes, that's why I really appreciate what animators do, because they bring things to life. So yeah, I love 3D. Love it for that. For that freedom to be creative. It is truly magical. Absolutely, yeah. I agree, FS Vault, 100%. It is truly is a magical thing. And that's the reason that I chose to do 3D as a profession, because I just love it. Couldn't imagine doing anything else. Now, I'm just trying to work out how close I want my camera before we start to lose focus on the peacock. I think I still want the peacock in focus around about here. I'm going to turn on smooth focus changes here. It's just an option. It's probably hidden behind my music there. But there's an option here called smooth focus changes. Make sure I'm turning that on so that we get a nice smooth transition of our depth of field. Right. And I want to pull in my depth of field because we're close to the peacock now. We need to pull it in a lot closer. So we have to be careful though. We don't want to blur the background too much. I pulled it into 60. I'll set a keyframe at 60. And I'm just going to scroll back through here. The peacock will go out of focus now because we're starting to zoom. The camera will be starting to focus in on the background. So from here, I want the background to become in focus. So let's pull it back out. Let's try 500. In fact, for this one, I'm going to turn on the focal plane so I can see where my depth of field is. So 300 will pull it forward. We don't want that. 500 pushes it back. I need to push it back even more. Let's try 1000. 1000 will probably be good. That brings the foreground here into focus and it keeps the background slightly out of focus. Just going to turn off that focal plane so I can see what we're looking at. Set a keyframe here. Whoa. Okay, it seems to be losing the plot a little bit between these 2 points. So I'm going to delete this keyframe where we pull the depth of field forward. So we start focused in on the peacock. As we move through, it defocuses a bit too quickly for my liking there, so I want to keep the peacock in field in view here, so I'm going to knock it back to 100. Let's try 80. Set a keyframe there. Okay, again we're getting that problem, so it's because we're going from a really close depth of field to a far away depth of field that we're getting that really smushing blurring of the screen. So what that means is I'm going to have to help the camera along a little bit by setting another keyframe. I'm just scrubbing through so I can see where the keyframe is the lowest, and it's around about here. So let me push that back up to 90. Set a keyframe. Okay, so a peacock stays in focus, and then as we pass the peacock it goes out of focus and the background comes into focus. And now as we travel through, we're going to keep the same focus. I'm going to turn the plane on again so I can see how far my depth of field is here. Just in front of the table. It should be okay, I think. Keep travelling through. And then we turn the camera to look back the way we've come. I'm going to turn that purple plane on again so I can see where my depth of field is. It's around about the couch. Which should be okay. Let's play that through in a loop a couple of times so I can check it. I think FS Vault does do 3D Android Lost, I'm pretty sure. If my memory serves me correctly, which sometimes it doesn't. It's going to mute my mic while I cough, guys. I don't want you to hear me coughing into the mic. Sorry about that. Now, everything is fine. It's just the very beginning here. I'm still not completely sold on the peacock. It goes out of focus a little bit too soon, I think. FS Vault saying that fell out of love with it for a while, trying to start up again in Blender. And again, if you want to do 3D and you don't want to spend any money, Blender is completely free, and it's a very good 3D program. Don't think because it's free it's not good. It's just as good as Max, Maya, Cinema 4D. They're all very good now. So if you want to play in 3D, download Blender. You don't have to spend any money. You can just play to your heart's content and in any free time you get and see if you like it or not. Because, I mean, you don't want to be spending hundreds of dollars on software if you're not going to maybe stick with it, you know what I mean? So you got no excuses, guys and girls. Download Blender. It's free. I'm going to slide these keyframes forward a little bit. Just a little bit. And Sniper Echo uses Blender. And Sniper is saying 2.8 alpha is pretty stable and rarely crashes for him. So there you go. Yeah, Sniper Echo uses Blender. Galen, who is a streamer as well that does 3D on Twitch, he uses Blender too. So there's always Blender if you don't want to spend any money. And Unreal, of course, as well. Remember, it's completely free to download from Epic Games. So if you want to try and make a game, or just do a cinematic like I am, or even just play around in the engine to see what you can create, UE4 is completely free to download and use too. You can't get better than free. They're talking about Blender's user interface changing. I actually haven't used Blender, so I can't speak to that change in the user interface. Okay, we are getting some issues here with the peacock staying in focus. And I knew it was going to be fiddly because it's an object really close to the camera. I think. Going to zoom in on my timeline here so I don't accidentally put a key right next to another key. Okay, I'm over my key, good. Let's just play with our depth of field here a little bit. Let's try 60. Try 20. Why you jump around like that for me? Just going to set a keyframe, overwrite the other key here at 20. And I'm just scrubbing through my timeline here. Okay, let's pull back out again so we can see our full timeline. And I'm going to scrub through my timeline. Now it looks to me like the camera might have moved at the beginning. I'm just going to check that in a second. Because I was sure we were closer in on the peacock here at the beginning. I didn't think we were that far out. I'm sure the camera was pulled in closer. So what are you doing to me, camera? What are you doing? I'm just trying to decide if I need to move the camera forward or not. Because we do get a close-up of it as we actually pass it. No, actually, I think I might leave the camera pulled back a little bit like that. I actually think that's where the original camera was, and I'm just going mad. My apologies for Nightbot spamming my links in chat, guys and girls. It's got a mind of its own, that little bot. Again, I just want to make sure my camera doesn't clip the object like that, because that would be bad. That would be a bad shot in the cinematic. Easy enough for us to fix. All we need to do is move the rail over a little bit at this point here. so I can make sure that we don't actually go through the peacock. Okay, so we move past our peacock. We don't go through our peacock, which is good. Oh, looks like we might be still going through just a little bit. So I'm just going to move the entire rail over a little bit, I think. So I'm going to select that point. We'll select that point and this one. Just going to nudge it over just a little. Okay, so we move forward. I'm just going to use the arrow keys here to go through the keyframes individually to make sure that we're not actually going inside of our peacock. You can hear my keyboard clacking away there in the background. That should be fine. We're not going through it now. So start focused on the peacock, move past the peacock, focus in on the plant, move past the plant. Focus in on the back wall inside of the little hallway here. And as we turn to face back, we focus in on the angels and the main gate. Let me just deselect that and play that through on a loop. So we've got one camera shot, two camera shots. This is the third shot for that back end of the room. Now we're going to be moving to the other side to do the final three shots, and they're the final three shots that will finish the interior camera work. Then we can move to the back of the building, the outside back of the building. Let's do a save all so we don't lose what we've done. And we're going to work out some shots for the final room. Smurfberry says, then back to more exterior camera. Only the back of the building, Sniper. Smurfberry. I always get you two confused. Because you're both cheeky. No, you're not as cheeky as Sniper. Okay, Smurfberry. There's only a few shots. Like, I want a shot where we actually leave the interior. And I'll probably sort of like move the camera to look up at the building. So that'll be one shot. I want a shot where we're looking sort of this way so we can see the back of the building and the sun shining through there, the god rays. And then of course I need a shot for the bunnies because we've got these little bunnies here. So we need a shot of them. They'll be animated too, of course. So a shot of the bunnies, and that's pretty much it. So another 1, 2, 3 or 4 shots for the back here. Won't take us long. We should be able to knock it out in one stream. So I've penciled in today to try and finish the cameras for the interior, and Monday next week to do the final cameras here at the back. So Tuesday we can start working with the Premiere Pro, putting the cinematic together. That's the plan, anyway. Sniper says, I swear only one of us really need to be here. He will never know. I don't know why I keep getting you two confused. Sniper Echo, Smurfberry Barbecue. I don't know. Android Lust says, I think the first time I tried Blender was Blender 2.6. I had no clue what I was doing and gave up. Yeah, all 3D software is going to be, it's got a bit of a steep learning curve initially. But the beauty of doing 3D and learning one program, you can generally take what you learn in one program and work in any other 3D program, because they all work on the same sort of thing. They all work on, you know, triangles, polygons, vertices. They're all the same. It's just learning the interface that's different, really. So that's why I always say to you guys, if you want to do 3D, no matter what 3D program you want to learn, make sure you get good at that one program first. And after you're good at that one program, then you can start learning other pieces of 3D software, other programs if you want. But make sure you're good at one before you try and start learning them all. You don't want to be a jack of all trades and a master of none. You don't spread yourself too thin so you don't get good at one thing. A lot of people think if they want to work in 3D or for a games company or for film or whatever it is, that they have to learn as much software as possible. And don't get me wrong, the more software you know, the more employable you are. But learn one piece of software really well. Get good at one thing first. Episbolt says, I've been following along Blender Guru's tutorials. There's heaps of great tutorials on YouTube as well that people make. Regardless of what you're using, you'll find something interesting. You'll find something that you'll find tutorials, learning tutorials on YouTube. Pretty much. And Twitch, of course. Don't forget Twitch, because there's a lot of creative people that stream on Twitch. Snooker says, the only time I've seriously poked around in Blender was on an anemic work computer using Blender in 2011 to paint rivets on a plane during my free time. Oh, that's alright. So, because we couldn't install software on the computers and Maya wouldn't work on them anyway. There you go. There you go. And unfortunately, I've not used Blender. I probably should at least look at it. I really should at least look at it. I know from people that use it though, like Galen, I've watched him work, and I know Sniper uses it, and I know a few other people that use Blender as well, and they love it. So that's why I can say to you guys, they're all good now, even though I haven't personally used Blender. I haven't personally used Maya, and I know Maya is good as well. Actually, that's not true. I played with Maya, but not very much. And I played with Cinema 4D, but Max is my baby. That's what I like to use, 3D Studio Max. Simply because I'm used to it. Sniper says, yeah, the initial step is the hardest. That's right. Once you get over the initial fear of doing 3D and learning the software, then you can get down to doing the art. Which is what it's all about. It's art, really. Any sort of 3D work, and I don't care what it is, whether it's ArchViz, where you're working on modern skyscrapers, it's still art. I think it is, anyway. So we're all artists. Sniper says he finds using Max hard. Well, again, it just comes down to what you're used to and how often you've used it. Anything takes time to learn. And there are still things in Max I've never used. There's parts of Max that I don't touch because I don't need them for my job and I don't use them when I create my own artwork. So just because I know Max pretty well doesn't mean I know all of Max, because, yeah, there's things in Max I've never used. I don't touch. Yeah. So even though I've been using Max for like 15 years, there's still parts of it that I've never used. So I don't think you've got to know everything inside and out either. Just get good at doing what you need to do in the program you want to use. But I don't find Max hard. I like the interface of Max. It's very clean, very simple, very similar to UE4 here. Everything's laid out nicely, cleanly, easy to find. Unlike ZBrush and Pixologic. That interface in ZBrush, wow. So bad, so bad. Android Lost says, because Max is hard compared to Maya. No, it's not. Episbolt says, I like 3DS, but I just can't stand the sort of paying $2,000 a year. Yeah, you can subscribe, but it's still expensive. But they do have a subscription service with Autodesk if you want to do it that way. But it is expensive, I'm not going to lie. And I use it because the studio are the ones that pay for the license for me to use it. I would probably have second thoughts if I had to spend $2,000 to buy it. And that's also why I don't want you guys to think just because I use a lot of different software that you need to use a lot of different software. You don't. And I wouldn't use half of this if I had to pay for it. It's the studio buys the licenses because I work from home. That's the reason I have so much software and the reason I use so many different programs. But don't think you have to. You don't. Like, I use Unfold 3D to do texture mapping, to do UV mapping. But you can do it all in the 3D program. It might just take a little bit longer. I use these other programs to speed up my workflow because I'm under deadlines for work and stuff. But if you're under a deadline, or you don't have that concern, or you don't have the money, then you don't need to spend the money. You can do it for free. Sniper says, but I didn't really give it a good shakedown. Well, that's, fair enough. Android Lost says, I really didn't have an interest in learning 3D until about 2 years ago, sadly. Well, that's all right. You're starting now. That's the important thing. Sniper says, personally, I don't care about the tool used. I don't either. Whatever gets the job done. That's my philosophy in life. You use whatever gets the job done, or whatever you can afford to use. I'm going to throw down another rail here, I think. I'm just going through the environment to decide how I want to set up the next camera for this room. And I'm thinking, remember I say to you, this is why I work with the camera viewport, cinematic on the left, and the perspective on the right. That allows me to sort of move through the scene to get an angle that I like the look of, so I can work out what I want what I want my camera to do. So I'm thinking with this one, I might start the camera low, and I might move it over and up, and we might finish with a close-up around about here, near this urn thing. So let's do that. And I find that's the best way to work. If you're sort of not sure how what sort of camera you want to create, just move around in the viewport. So let's pull up so I can see where I want to place my rail. I'm going to use another rail rig. Sniper says, if you enjoy using a piece of software over another, that's always a good thing. That is true. Let me drag that rail in. Android Dust says, I honestly think that if you learn one software, you can use the others once you get used to the user interface and navigation. Again, completely true. Learn one and then others are pretty much easier to pick up because they all follow the same sort of format. Their interfaces are generally pretty much the same, unless it's ZBrush. So you generally you can pick things up pretty quickly. Android Sniper says, Sniper says, I learned a lot of my 3D modeling stuff from Phil in Max and took what I learned straight into Blender. Well, that's thank you, Sniper, but then that is very true. Just no matter what program a person doing 3D is using, you can take things that they do in their program into whatever 3D program you use. And you can do that because, as I said, all 3D software works on the same basic principles and they all pretty much behave the same sort of way. So don't think that if you see me using Max and you're a Blender person that you won't get anything out of watching me, because you will. The same goes if you're watching a guy using Blender and you want to use Max or Maya or Cinema 4D. You can take what you learn in one and transfer it to whatever 3D software you're using. Generally. Android Lost says, learn at Twitch University. Well, that's exactly right. But that's why I really appreciate Twitch having a creative, let's call it art. Let's call it what it is now on Twitch. It's not called creative anymore. It's called art. Having an art section for non-gaming to allow people to watch other people work. It's the best way to learn. Watching other people work is the best way to learn. The best. It's worth 10 times reading any textbook if you actually can watch someone learn. And even better, like on Twitch, if you can actually interact with the person while they're working because you can ask them questions. That's even better than a video, learning through a video, because you've got that interactive thing. So Twitch all the way. Kudos to Twitch for having an art section. I don't even think Mixer has an art section. Microsoft Mixer, their streaming service, and they may have added one, but last time I looked there wasn't. So So good on Twitch. Although Twitch do things occasionally I don't like, but the tag system. How are you guys finding that? I meant to ask you guys yesterday because it's a big change. Can you still find the streamers you want to watch using the tags now that they've done away with communities? Unless it's ZBrush. Android Lost says, Snipe says the best thing in Blender 2.8 for me is real-time renderer. Cool. And Sniper says ZBrush. I don't think I'll ever go there. Actually, we are going to be using ZBrush very briefly when we do the photogrammetry, because I take the models into ZBrush just to clean them up if they need it, and they generally do need it. So you will see me in ZBrush. Shock horror, Phil will be in ZBrush pretty soon. Not for very long though, I have to say. I'm only going to be using it to do the cleanup of the mesh. So you'll have to be clipping me when you see me in ZBrush, because you're not going to see me in ZBrush very much at all after. Andrew Lust says ZBrush is fun, the learning curve is stupid. Look, again, I don't... you guys hear me bag ZBrush constantly, and I don't want to suggest that ZBrush is bad, because it's a great program. Mudbox is the only thing that comes close to it. That's Mudbox by Autodesk. But even that's probably not as good as ZBrush. But for the amount of brushes and tools you've got in ZBrush is much bigger than Mudbox. Mudbox's interface is much better though. So yeah, don't think I don't like ZBrush. It's a great program. It's just the interface is terrible. They walk their own way in Pixologic when it comes to their interface. There is no other 3D software there's no 3D software would think to make an interface like that. It's just weird. Make it clean, make it simple, make it, don't... man, I hate that interface. You hate the tag system, Android Lust? Yeah, a few people have said that. There have been a few people saying that they don't like it. It is still new, though. I guess we should give Twitch a little leeway and see what happens. Trying to work out if I want one more point along my curve here. I might pull out one more. It is a big change though, so... And this is only my second stream since the tag system has been in place, so I'm still reserving my judgment. It doesn't seem to have affected my viewer numbers. You guys find my stream, but you probably follow me anyway. But I'm going to give it a little... I'll give it a good month, decide, and then I'll look at my viewer numbers to see if they've dropped or if they've stayed the same or if they've picked up. Because you guys know I don't monitor my stream while I stream. So I have no idea whether there's one person watching me or 10. I just don't know. But I do look at the numbers after I finish streaming. But I wasn't... I thought that the communities were a good feature. I'm a little sad that they did away with communities. I thought communities worked well. They could have had communities and tags. I don't see why they couldn't do both. Sniper says, my God, no. Spot says, did you already film the kitchen scene? Oh, you're pushing for a slap, aren't you, Epizwalt? Did I miss it? Sniper says, so who is going to take over from me as mod stream viewer? Why, where are you going, Sniper? What's going on? What's going on? Are you abandoning me, Sniper Echo? Is that what's going on? Sniper says, I poked around with the tags a couple of times. I can't tell if they're any good. I already follow so many artists that I don't look for new ones that often. Yeah, that's fair enough. Android Lost says, I had a browser bookmark to 3D modeling so I can get to it easy. Now it takes me to Twitch TV. Yeah, it does that because there are no communities and you can't bookmark tags. That's something Twitch should probably look at. Allowing people to be able to bookmark the tags, that would probably help. The other thing I find a little bit annoying with tags is they don't stick. I've got to always, every time before I set up my stream to go live, I have to make sure that the tags are still there because Twitch removed them. Generally after a stream, they're gone, so you've got to keep adding them again and again and again. That gets annoying if you use the same tags all the time. Like, I don't stream games, I stream creative, and I'm always in the same creative tag categories, so having to re-add them all the time is really getting a bit annoying. I wish Twitch would not do that. Android Lost says, I'll get used to the tags. I just hate it killed my bookmark. Yeah, and it did that because the bookmark was based on the communities, not the tags, and you can't bookmark tags. Sniper says it's ZBrush for me, Phil. Your call. Oh, it's ZBrush or you? Oh, you all the way, Sniper Echo. You don't compare. You are always better than ZBrush by a country mile. Android Lost says Sniper wants to see you uninstall ZBrush live on stream. I can't do that. I do need it occasionally. I wish. No, I can't. I can't uninstall it. Even though I hardly use it, I do use it occasionally. I'd uninstall it, then work would say to me, "What's going on? Why did we give you that license to ZBrush if you're never going to use it, or if you don't even have it installed on your computer?" Sniper says it's an addiction, Phil. It's unhealthy. Alright, now I need to pull this rail up at the end, not at the beginning. So let's select our points. Use Blender sculpting instead, Sniper Echo said. I can sculpt in Max too, you know. Just putting that out there. You can do sculpting in Max. It's pretty rudimentary and not nice, but you can do it. Autodesk did add it. But if you want to do serious sculpting, it's ZBrush or Mudbox. But you can do it in Max. You can do some sculpting in Max. There are tools built in there to do it. And obviously, Sniper Echo is saying that you can do it in Blender as well, so there you go. And it's always better if you don't have to spend more money on more software, of course, because ZBrush isn't cheap either. So, you know, buying ZBrush if you don't use it is a bit of a waste of money. Let's pull our rail in a little bit. But I just want the end piece here. There we go. Just going to adjust my rail here a little. Android Lost says Maya has sculpting too. It's probably nearly the same as Max, I'd assume, since they're both Autodesk. Again, not having played with Maya for quite a while, but you're probably right. They both probably have this similar sort of rudimentary sculpting tools built into them. So, you know, enough to get the job done, but really limited as to how much you can do. Which is why, of course, people use ZBrush or Mudbox. Smurfberry says, my grafted the sculpt tools from Mudbox. Well, there you go. I did recall reading something about Autodesk integrating Mudbox into Maya, but that was over 12 months ago, and Autodesk updated Mudbox not that long ago, so. Sniper says, did you guys see the almost 100% Blender made film? It's called Next Gen. No, I haven't seen it. Should we check it out? Is it good? Of course, Sniper's going to say it's good because he uses Blender. I'm sure it is good. Smurfberry says, I saw a Blender film, probably not the one. If you want to pop a link or something in chat, go right ahead, Sniper Echo. If you want, you don't have to. Hang on, there's messages in Discord and I'm being terrible and not paying attention to what's going on. Sniper has posted images in Discord of the Blender 2.8 Alpha, an image of the interface. It does look quite nice actually. It does look quite nice. You've got me curious here. I'm just going to copy this link and check this out myself. Just let me pull my browser over. So this is a shot of the interface in Blender. That's very nice actually. I like that. Nice and clean. Very Max-like actually. Probably why I like it so much. Looks nice. Nice. I like the colour as well. The dark theme. I'm big on dark themes now, but ever since Microsoft introduced their new update with the Dark Explorer, I love dark themes. You've only got to look at my website to know I like dark themes because it's all black and grey, dark grey. But the interface does look very nice. Okay, and he has posted a link to the CG Masters YouTube video, which is a Blender 2.8 overview in Discord as well. So you guys jump on Discord and check that out. Remember, if you're not on my Phil Does 3D Discord, it's easy. Just click the link I've just popped in chat, or click the blue graphic below my stream in my panels that says join the Discord. Everyone's free to post links to their work on Discord. There's a gallery section where you can post stuff you're working on, and that's just because only subs can post links in Twitch chat, but everyone can post links on Discord. So I encourage you guys and girls to use the Discord server. Everybody there is very friendly, very helpful. If you've got a problem, you can post on Discord and we can try and help you out, and you can show your work. So. And there's the trailer that Sniper Echo has popped into chat. Okay. Before we make our adjustments for our rail, I think we should probably put a camera on it. That would probably help. So let's do that. And this is rail 21. So let's pull in a cinematic camera. And let's position our camera. And Android Lost has just popped a link in chat saying this is the short film I was talking about that was made in Blender. So there you go, guys and girls. Those links are in Twitch chat for you to check out. It's an animation short film, Android Lost is saying. I'm just going to position my camera here over my rail. Sniper says Sniper remembers that one. Cool. I'm going to rotate my camera around because we don't want to be looking at the wall. We want to be looking the other way. I might just move the camera in a little bit. Sniper says, sorry, Smurfberry says A-Cube worked on Next Gen. I'm just going to move my camera down. Now, I'm looking at this little camera viewport here because we're still looking at the old camera here. Wow. So actually we better fix that. I'm going to create a new shot track, so shot 67. I forgot about that. Must do that. So let's duplicate this. Shot 67. And let's open that up so we have a nice empty clean shot track. There we go. Now, before I start making small adjustments here, I'm going to add these two together. So we're camera actor 63 going to camera rail 21. So let's drag our camera over our rail. And let's add those to our new shot track. And let's turn on so we can see what the camera is looking at. Let's make sure we change our camera to an 18mm. So this is, again, I'm doing this now just so I can see what the camera is seeing here, so we can start making our adjustments. So I want to rotate my camera a little bit. Remember, we want to start low to begin with, so I'm going to move the camera over a little bit. I'm going to rotate the camera up a little bit. Again, remember guys and girls too, I see they're talking about checking out stuff while I'm streaming, otherwise things will buffer on Twitch. Do remember, I generally have transcoding on my streams as well, so I stream at 5K, 1080p, but if that's too much for you, just click the cog icon on the Twitch player in the corner down there in the bottom right, and you can drop it back to whatever doesn't buffer for you while you watch the stream. You can take it all the way back to 160p, which I wouldn't recommend because it's just a blurry mess, but you can if you need to. Android Lost says, I miss having good internet sometimes. I might have no internet tomorrow when the hurricane destroys my city. Oh no, is there a hurricane heading towards you, Android Lost? That's no good. Will you stay safe? I say, you know, with this global warming and everything going on now, guys and girls, you know, you got to stay safe and be careful because the weather's going crazy because of global warming. Sniper says, yeah, I wish I could experience good internet. Listen, we got potato internet in this country as well. I can feel you guys. I can. I know exactly where you're coming from. I mean, we are supposed to be getting cable, fibre. And which is a government-run thing, but it's taking forever. I mean, forever. They've been rolling out this fibre network in this country for the last 7 years, and they've only got like through half the country so far. It's slow as anything, so slow. And so yeah, I have potato internet too half the time. Don't worry. But I hope you stay safe there, Android Lost, as well. If there's a hurricane heading towards where you are. No problem, Sniper. Okay, just gotta grab a coffee. I can't do without my coffee. It keeps me going. I'm just moving the camera around here to get the initial start look for it. And again, I'm moving in the viewport here to decide where I want to place my camera. Android Lost says, you'd imagine that in the year 2018 you wouldn't have 2004 internet still, but we do. Yeah. I feel ya. FS Vault says, just watched that Blender short film, wowzers. I'll check it out myself after the stream. I will do that. You got me curious. No one wants to watch me stream while I'm looking at a video. So, although I know some streamers that is their stream, they sort of watch videos of other people. which I don't really agree with, I have to say. I'm not knocking any streamers that do it, but you're watching other people's work, you're not creating your own. And that's a bit of a cop-out in my opinion. But hey, you guys do what makes you happy. It's the streamers I'm talking about, not you guys in chat. I think the shot here, we've got the candelabra in shot. We can see the incense. It's actually an incense burner here, which is what we're going to be doing, moving the camera up close to. So apart from maybe moving the camera down, we can't go too low because I want to keep the candelabra here in shot. We can certainly play with the height just a little bit. Maybe around about here we can just start to see the floor. So actually think I prefer to see just a bit more. I like to see the top of the chair arm here more than I like to see the floor. So the guys are talking about this this video that was created in Blender. So I haven't actually watched it. I'll watch it after the stream, but it shows you. They were saying what you can do in Blender, and Blender is free. So there you go. You got no excuse not to do 3D, or at least try. Come on, guys and girls, at least try. Make me happy. I want you guys and girls doing 3D. It's fun. It is fun. Alright, let's set a transform here for the camera. Position. I'm just going to press S on the keyboard. Let's also set a position for our rail here at 0. I'm just going to set a key for 0. And we're going to move to the end of the rail and set it to 1. And set a keyframe. That's currently what our camera is looking at. That's not what we want to be looking at, so let us rotate our camera. Because we want to be looking... What do we want to be looking at? We want to be looking probably more... What do I think probably more back this way. That's more interesting to look at than that sideboard. But I want to move the rail, I think. So I'm going to set a keyframe here for the camera. And I'm going to move the rail back. Just because I think I want a bit more of an overview of the furniture. I might move the rail down a little bit too at the end here. We've got to pull it back a little bit more. No, not quite that much. I don't have to set keyframes here because I'm actually making adjustments to the rail itself, not to the keys on the rail or the camera. Let's move Actually, let's select the camera. I might rotate the camera down a little bit. And I might move the rail up just a little bit. Well, I must make sure too I set a keyframe for the change in rotation on the camera. Now I'm going to scrub through my timeline and we can start making any adjustments. So let's play it on a loop, and it's easier for me to see if anything needs to be changed. Good excuse for me to have a copy while it does it. That's not too bad. That gives us an overview of the two chairs and the coffee table, as well as a couple of the paintings on the wall there in the background. FS says is asking, what size monitors do you work on? I work on a 27-inch 2K screen, so 2560 by 1440 over here. My main monitor is a 32-inch 4K monitor, so 27 inches and 32 inches are the sizes I work on. And again, that's probably why what you see the stream here. The interface looks smaller than what it probably would if you're watching somebody streaming in 1080p, because it's 4K that's being pardon me, shrunk down to 1080p. That's what you see on screen here on my stream. And then I have another 27-inch 2560 by 1440 monitor on my stream PC over here. I'm just going to mute while I cough. So yes, two 27 inches and one 32 inch. And Red Lust says I have a 27 and two 24s. I only use a 27. I only used a 27 for 36. Oh, for 3D. Okay. Yeah, I generally only use the 32 for 3D as well. I don't pull anything onto my second monitor when I'm doing 3D. It's all just on the one monitor. If I'm using Photoshop, then I actually use two then. Usually when I use Premiere Pro I use two as well, or After Effects, but I won't be doing that when we do the cinematic, because you guys won't see what's on the second screen, so everything I'll use just one screen. FS Bolt says I like the idea of having a large screen for 3D. Yeah, I love the 32-inch screen. I think it's great, and I love 4K. 4K is great too. I mean, you do need a bit of a beast of a video card to run it, but it makes working so much nicer because you get so much more screen real estate to work with. You don't need a second monitor because you've got enough room on the one to work with. Smurfberry says I have an old 4 by 3 17-inch monitor off to the side that's mainly for reference or web browsing or something. The only work I do on it is UVs. Yeah, and again, I find a lot of the time my second monitor here, I have my email client always open because work send me emails and stuff all the time. or they text me messages on my phone. So I use it for my email client or for Microsoft Word if I need to type up anything in Word. Pretty much that's the only thing I use the second monitor for. When I stream, of course, I use it because I have my Discord on it, I have Twitch chat on it, so I can see what you guys type. But most of the time I generally try and stick to using just the one screen. Gone are the days where you need to use 3 screens to get good productivity anymore. Now that screens are getting so much bigger and higher DPI, so... You're off, no problem, Sniper Echo. Thanks for being here and thanks for watching. You have a great weekend, buddy, and hopefully I'll see you on Monday next week when I'm live again next. You take care, Sniper Echo. Have a good night's sleep. And thanks for being here. Snooper says, Phil is on my second monitor. Okay, well there you go. Good to know I'm useful for something. Okay, this camera's okay, but let's look at the depth of field, I think. Let's stop it. Let's go back. Let's turn on our purple plane so we can see where our depth of field is. And at the moment it's really high because it defaults to 100,000, which is huge. I'm going to pull this in. I'm going to try 1,000 to begin with. We can see where our depth of field plane is there. I'm going to pull it in a bit more. Let's try 600. Okay. Let's try 800. Okay, that's a bit better, I think. I want these objects in focus, and that can be just a little out of focus in the corner. See, Nightbot's spamming my links again. Got a mind of its own, that bot. So let's settle on 800. Let's set a keyframe there at the beginning. Let's move through our timeline. Now, we have to decide if we want the background in focus or the foreground in focus for this shot. I actually think keep the background in focus because we did it when we did the peacock. We kept it in focus, so this is a bit different. The opposite to the shot we did for the peacock. So let's keep going through, and I think the depth of field. I don't think we need to make any changes to the depth of field. I'm going to turn off the that purple plane and set a keyframe at the end here. It's exactly the same as depth of field at the beginning, 800. So Android Lost says, I do want to get a Wacom Cintiq monitor. I don't want to pay that price. Yeah, they're nice. At work, they've got a couple of those Wacom screens, tablet screens. I don't have one at home, but I've got 2 normal Wacom tablets at home, like, you know, the normal Wacoms that you use. But the ones at work, I have used them and they are nice. But they are so expensive. Wow. So expensive. And I don't use them enough to justify the cost. You know, the normal Wacom tablets are fine for me. If I was doing art all day long where I needed to use the pen, then it'd probably be worthwhile, but I can't justify the price compared to the amount of times I need to use it. I'd rather spend that money on other things like upping the graphics card or upping the, you know, other hardware parts, more useful. Android Lust says the price for one Wacom monitor is a new computer. Yeah, and I'd rather get a new computer than that, based on the amount of use I'd get out of it. I get more value for money taking that $2,000 or whatever it costs to buy your Wacom monitor and buy a new PC. Because I get more use out of the new PC than the amount of times I'd use the Wacom monitor. But it would be nice. I agree. It would be lovely. Yeah. So you know you don't want to be spending money on stuff that you're not going to use a lot. That's just wasting your money. And if if you do want to use a stylus, you do want to do some Wacom stuff, you can buy a normal Wacom tablet for a lot less. But people that need the Wacom monitor, they're people that do a lot of digital touch-up work and all that sort of stuff, or digital drawing. I just don't need it. I don't do enough of that sort of stuff to need it. The Wacom tablets do me fine. And I have two Wacom tablets. I have a large one and a smaller one. And just depending on the sort of work I need to do as to which one I decide to use. Yeah, as Eppersport says, they're great if you're a dedicated matte painter or artist, for sure. And Ridla says, yeah, I'm using an old Wacom tablet that a friend gave me. Wacoms last forever. If you don't mistreat them, they will last you a lifetime, a Wacom tablet. And apart from the number of levels of sensitivity, they pretty much don't change throughout the years. So even if you use an old one, it's still generally going to be great. They don't break, they last forever. The sensitivity is still generally okay on the older ones, so at least I find now. You have a little baby one? Yeah, I do too. I've got a 9 by 12 inch one, which is a big one. And then I've got I think it's a 5 by 6 inch one, which is the smaller one. And I find the smaller one better if I need to do it sounds counterintuitive, but the smaller one is better for fine detail stuff. The bigger one is good if you want to do some freehand sort of drawing, sketching, painting. But the smaller one I find more useful because it's I've got more control. I don't have to sweep my hand over such a large area like the big one. So that's why the smaller one is the one attached to my main computer. The second one is attached to my streaming computer here because I use it less often, the bigger one. So I like my little baby one as well. I find it more useful for the work that I do most of the time. The big ones are really good if you want, like I said, if you want to do a lot of digital drawing, digital painting, illustration type work. But I use the pen and the tablet a lot for texture painting, and I get more control using the small one. At least that's what I find. I think this shot's probably okay. We've fixed the depth of field. It's just a general overview shot of the coffee table and the two paintings in the background there. So we can call this shot done. Let's do a save all so we don't lose the work we've done. So this is the first camera for this room, I think. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. We need 2 more cameras for this room. Just going to deselect it so I can see my viewport. And we have a shot looking at like this table and this incense burner. I think I want a shot where we're sort of looking back. And maybe we can see the door in view there. And maybe we can take the shot where we maybe just pull the camera up so we can sort of keep our candelabra here in the corner. That might be cool. And I want a shot though where we can see the door, because the third shot is where we're actually going to travel outside. So I don't know if I'm going to need to use a rig or any for this shot, because I'm probably only going to pan the camera straight up. I might move the camera on an angle. So we might start it down here and finish it sort of up here. It's a good shot too because it gives us a good look at the mezzanine there at the top. I'm just trying to work out whether I need a rig for this or not, a crane or a rail rig. Generally, if we move the camera in more than one axis, we really should use a rig. We'll use a rig. We'll use a rail rig. It'll give us more control. So let's pull in the rail. Let's rotate it around so it's going the other way. I'm going to drag out a couple of points. I think 3 points should probably be enough. Okay, we're going to start at around about, probably around about where it starts already. But I want to end it higher, and I want to give it a bit of a half circle. So I'm going to select these points, I think. We'll move it up. Let's straighten our rig up a little bit. And we're going to sort of angle it in a little bit, so I'm going to move the end point over. I may pull these ones out just a bit. Okay, before we get too carried away, I did do a save all. Let's create a new empty shot track. So we're up to shot 68. Let's load that one in. And this is rail 24. Let's pull in a cinematic camera actor. Let's pull it up. Facing the wrong direction, so let's rotate it around. Okay. Getting caught in my window. Okay. Now. What the camera's actually seeing at the moment. I think I might pull it over a little bit. Might rotate it up a little bit. Okay. Let's add these to our empty shot. Actually, before I add them, I've got to attach them. So, camera actor 68 going to rail 24. And let's add them to our shot track. Let's just turn on the camera so we can see what it's looking at. And change the camera to an 18mm. Okay, let's just do a save all here, I think. And I think we might call it a day there, guys and girls. I'll render out the cameras we worked on yesterday and today, so when I come back on Monday next week, we can review those camera shots. We didn't get to finish the interior, but we've only got one more shot after this, which is going outside, is leaving the building. So we nearly got there, but we'll pick that up again on Monday next week. I do want to thank you guys and girls though very much though for being here and for hanging out with me and for watching. I really do appreciate it. You guys and girls have a great weekend. Remember, if you're not sure when I'm live, look for the counter there, but I'll be back on Monday next week, 5 PM Pacific is when I'm live next. On the weekend, you can watch the catch-up streams if you missed them on the Monday and Tuesday. And you can always follow me on Twitter at PhilDoes3D because I always post when I go live to Twitter. You guys and girls, I'll see you all again hopefully next week. You have a great weekend and a great week. Again, thanks guys and girls for watching, and hopefully I will see you on Monday next week. See you guys.